Hey everyone, Andrew Kopak here, Kopak Design, showing you basically how I stay organized throughout my everyday, throughout the work process, and whenever I buy tools, company expenses, documents, anything that I have for the company. So let's get started with that. I'll show you exactly how I do it, and maybe you can learn something, and hopefully I'll show you some easy ways how to do so, because I love this process and a lot of people loved it also. So right here I got one of the bigger iPad Pros for this recently. It's been working out great, has a little case on it. You can see right here what I did is I put the flyer right on top there, so it just has, you know, the Kopak Design flyer that I made. Unlock that, and basically what this has is it has direct access to my computer. Since it's all hooked up with iCloud, since it's Apple, I could basically get the desktop whenever I tether this with my phone on the internet, and get internet anywhere, and basically get every file that's on my desktop. So what that does is that whenever I need the company folder that's on my laptop, I can get it right on here. So what I do for that, basically, I'll just show you really quick on here, and then I'll go back to my laptop and show you exactly what, you know, the files are. So this little button down here, you can see right there, that goes to my desktop. So you could see how I have, you know, that all set up. So let's say, for example, I just kind of show you, I'll open up someone over here, and let's just say, just like a random invoice or something. Okay, this right here, so this is like a job log right here. So basically what I do for here is make sure their name's on it. So that right there, I could go into this, edit it, has each thing, what I do every day, how many hours I do, what receipts I have. So the reason I got this iPad Pro for this is because this is like the size of a sheet of paper, so it represents what I'm handing the client, so I could see it in real time, what it's going to look like, make sure the text and everything is perfect for them, and it works out great. So that was just, I guess, one example, but I'll kind of explain how I do it. So look on the laptop right here, I'll pop the screen up so you guys can see it. So what we have right here is we have the company folder. So I'll go into this right here, you can see I have it organized. I put a 1 and a 2 for the most commonly used things, so that on the iPad they're always on the top. You can see how it puts it up there too, so when you click on name, see how it goes, you know, 1 and 2. That's another company. So yeah, so the jobs one, the first one, that's those are all the jobs. I have them separated by date. Also company expenses, so anything that I buy, I'll take a picture of the receipt and put it in there. Design work, anything, business cards, t-shirts, whatever, is all there. Official documents, Chase documents, LLC documents, license, anything that I need there. I have a few templates, so I'll go through all these. So let's start with the jobs one, because I think that's the most important one right there. So the first one, let's see, actually, so yeah, so jobs. So we enter jobs, we have the different dates. So 2017, we'll open this right here. And let's see, so that one right there is, there's a few different things. So the first one, I'm not going to open it because it has all the client's names and addresses in it. Basically, any client that I have up to this date, I write in the first file, just so that when I send out thank yous or holiday cards, so I have those all in one file. So those are all there. It has their name, what I did for them, address, and all that stuff. And then over here, I have all of their names. So let's start a new one right here, just so I can show you exactly how I do it. Usually this is done on the iPad, but just for simplicity, I'll show you on the screen since it's a lot sharper for you to see. So let's say test client. Okay, so that will be the new client, so we'll open that up. There's a few things that I do right away, and I actually made this easier for myself, and I almost forgot. So we're actually going to delete this. So if you look up here, it says one add templates. So basically all I have to do is copy that folder and paste it over. So I could duplicate that folder. I made this nice and easy for myself. You can see it has a red dot, which means unpaid for a new person. Green is paid, or outstanding, you know, invoices basically. So we can rename that to the new client. So new client, we'll open that up, and right away what it has is a blank invoice, a letter, a job log, and a folder for receipts. So anytime I take a picture of a receipt, I'll put it in there and take a little screenshot, and let's say, for example, this is one of them, it just happened to be in there. You know, it has everything, and I put a number 1. So I do the receipts in order, so you can see I named it as 1 by renaming it, and I also drew the 1 on the paper for when I printed it out. So basically, when you go into the line paper job log, what I'll do, for example, I'll change these so you can actually see how I do it. This will open up, and I can do this in the car, on the iPad, on the go, wherever I am. So, you know, it'll change the date according to what I put in. So let's say, you know, Wednesday, November 1st, task, let's say I installed upper cabinets. And I did some, you know, you could just basically add whatever you do in there, whether or not you spell it right. I'm messing up my spelling. And then you can go down to here to what you need for the next day preparation. So you could say, let's say, by for nails and glue. So then I know, you know, what I need next time. If I take that out at Home Depot, I always carry it with me. I know exactly what I need, stay prepared. So then under hours, let's say I worked from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. I have that right down there so the hours are logged on that date exactly what I did. And now going back to the receipt, which you guys saw before, how it was named 1 and it was drawn with the number 1 also. What I'll do down here, receipt number, which I made myself, and then let's say that was actually crown molding. So we just put crown or crown slash. We could do something like that. And I've been rounding up the number and then rounding down the number. So we'll see in the future, you know, if I should actually do like 1247, but when you're calculating, you know, 1,000 receipts, it takes forever. So whether it's in the client's favor and I round down and I lose a few bucks, or I round up and then down and, you know, kind of even it off. Either way it works. I'm still trying to find out, you know, what I should do for that. So let me know if you think I should do something different or what your opinion is. So let's say that came out to 350. We'll just put 350 there. The next receipt, we'll put a 2, description, the amount, and then eventually we'll add all these together on the invoice. So we could save this. This will get printed out. I will give this to them so they know exactly, you know, what I paid for each receipt. And you can see a few little details on here which I actually changed recently. So I have the logo, website, my phone number, my email address, which all changed recently actually. Down here we have the social media stuff right here in case they want to follow. Also license and insure, you're supposed to have that and everything technically, so that's added on there also. So okay, so we can close that one out. That's one of the most important documents that I use, and I'm actually trying to implement something too for like a daily goal, what could have went better, just so I know, you know, things I could work on. So that's one thing right there. And the next one right here, invoice. Just make sure that doesn't have an address on it or anything for you. Okay. So let's just say this is an old one, sample one, let's say. So this and the other ones get stapled. This one goes first, and the next one goes second, so they can see my hours, what I did, the job log and everything. But this, you know, they get their name, their email and everything, and of course it has the same header, email, phone number, which of course is all changed. I put inquiry at Copac Design right now, so it's more of a business way. I could show you that in a second, actually. Title, description, invoice number. So usually, you know, I'll put all this, see how it says new client? Let me close out of this. So let's say new client. What I'll actually do is I'll put this separate, so I'll go to new folder and I'll put one.crown. So if this was just a crown job, I'm going to put all this in here. That's invoice 1. If I have something else, a new project, I'll put 2.built-in unit, and then I'll take all of this stuff basically and I'll paste it in here, of course, but that's going to be blank, just so it's separate. So you can see 1, and then that means that this invoice is number 1. So when, you know, they look at invoice 1, all I have to do is go to their, you know, their name, their date, and then also see, okay, invoice 1, that was the crown molding, go into the folder and I have all the stuff right there. So looking back at the invoice over here, you know, estimated time frame, intended start date, it usually changes around depending on what the project is, what the scope of it is and everything, and if I need more room for the description, you know, then I'll break it down. So if I'm doing a custom unit, this is how I break it down. I'll do materials and then labor, and then I'll try to separate the labor also. If it's a bigger project, like right now I'm doing a lot of hourly work, so I've been putting custom unit, you know, materials as 1, and I add up all of the things that you saw on the job log, and then I put all of the labor. I can either break it down day by day, but it doesn't usually work, so I just put hours. So it's really just 2 boxes that says materials and hours, or labor. And then these add up, so if that was, let's say if that was 500, you see that, how it goes from this row to this row, and if that was 5 hours, that was 5 hours, and that was 5 hours, it changes all these, changes the total. And then down here, little message for them. Thank you for your most recent request, you guys can read that. Put a little signature in here, of course it has a license and insured box over here, a little social media thing over here. Over here I added this to privacy notice, we respect your confidentiality, this quote is not intended to be viewed by anyone without your consent. You know, basically just letting the client know, you know, whoever, you know, if your neighbor asks like, oh, how much did they spend, and trying to be nosy, I'm not sharing that information, that's not fair to me or to them. And it's not that I'm trying to jack up the price, you know, if someone has more money or something, it's not like that. I charge the same all the time no matter who they are. If anything, I'll give them a discount, give everyone a discount. But that's just more, basically just knowing that they have privacy, and I'm not sharing that because your financial situations are up to yourself, and I don't think that should be shared, and I think most clients appreciate that also. So that's how the invoice works. Let's see what else I have here. So the letter, this letter also gets attached to it. Let me just make sure okay, there's nothing on there. So this, basically when I do something, I'll put this cover letter first, and then I'll follow it with the invoice, and then I'll follow it with the job log. So basically they could just, you know, get a letter what's going on, they can get the invoice how much it is, and then they can see where the cost breakdown is. So this is basically, you know, like a template right here. I changed it around a little bit. This might be an older one, might be a little improper grammar if you're looking at it, and again, my old number, everything on there. So that's how I do that. So that's basically how I organize everything day to day. And you can see on the iPad, if I take that out, exactly, you know, it's like the same thing. So let me just pull up. I can actually pull up that same one since we're on Wi-Fi. So you can see when I go into here, if I go into here, you can see that new client pops up. So right away, whether I'm in my car or here, it'll sync right in there. I'll go to OneCrown. These are all the files that we just did. So you can see it's downloading. It might take a minute sometimes, but it's downloaded right now. That opens up. So right here, you can see everything is just there. So whether I'm at Home Depot, what I do is I take a picture really quick with the camera on here, the receipt, right away, because if not, I forget. And I almost forgot in the last project to add up a door that was like $400. So I almost lost that, but I realized, okay, the receipt's in my car. Reason for that is that everything is digital. I'm trying to go paperless. Just makes more sense, try to keep up with technology, and it's easier to stay organized, taxes, anything you need, just keep records. Another thing I've started doing also is in the main folder for the client, I keep something. Let's just go into hers because you could see on the computer when I switch it over, paint colors right here. There's also a to buy and to-do list, you could do that also. So anything that I have, so I didn't name them all yet, this is kind of new, I'm trying to start this. I take a picture of the paint swatch so that they have, you know, just a record of it, because sometimes they're, you know, they come back down, they're like, do you have that? And then you have to look through all my folders. This is easier, just go to their name, click on the one, you could say, okay, Master Bass cabinet. This is exactly what it was. I could send this to them, write an iMessage, text it over, whatever, in 2 seconds, and they have that. It's so much easier. It makes yourself more organized, makes yourself look better, and it's just overall better for yourself and the client together. So that stays there. You can see, you know, these two, and I write on it basically all that it is. So that's how that works. There's a couple different things. Let me see what I'm at. So I'm at 11 minutes. I guess I could show you guys some more things, keep the video kind of short. Okay, so client folder, we'll go back into here. I'll show you a few more things actually. Okay, so company expenses, this is kind of new, so I don't, yeah, I didn't even start this. So this is something I'm starting in 2018, so the new year's coming up. Anytime I do anything with the company, I am adding it into here with the receipt because all of last year, this is what I was using. This is why I spent the money on the iPad, and I love it. I'm not looking forward to even looking in this. But you want to see company expenses, what I was doing last year, it's just ridiculous. All of this stuff in here are printouts, screenshots. You can see there's like 1,000 Home Depot receipts right here. Who is ever going to look at this? These are starting to fade. You can't even read them. So I don't want to deal with that anymore. And especially now that I have the LLC for my company and everything, I need to keep better paperwork. So this thing is not working out anymore. And the tab doesn't work because there's so much stuff in there. But that's how I was doing it for the last 2 years. Finally gave up, spent the money on this guy, and it's amazing. So whether you do the iPad mini, because this one's a little expensive, whatever you do, you can even do it right on your phone, which is great. So if I need something on the go, I can get it on my phone also. Okay, so that's next. Let's see, design work. So I can show you a few things in here. So if I open that up, I have a banner, I have business cards. In here you can see basically, you know, this is the back, that's my new number, the new email. That's what the new one looks like. So I have to get those printed. I changed them up a little bit because I got a work phone number recently. That's the front, that's the back, nice and clean, consistent with everything, black and white. Trying to keep it, you know, very clean, very simple, and it has nothing to do about, you know, it's less to print in black and white, because usually when you're doing two-sided, whether it's, you know, you on the second side, black and white is usually the same price anyway. Okay, so that's business cards. I also have t-shirts design, flyer design, so you can see on here, you know, I have my flyer. This is the older one, it's not updated yet. So yeah, this is the number. So I have that stuff, t-shirts, social media stuff. The logo is on here with the vector format. So you can see vector, you can zoom in as much as you want. It'll stay crisp forever. That's all on their social media stuff. This was actually, yeah, so that was this one that you saw. This is all done in Adobe Illustrator. So that's vector format again. Holiday card, a few other things in the process of doing. The next one, official documents. So this one's pretty important too. Especially, you know, let's say you're at the bank and you need something, it's just really important to, you know, keep records on there and have them readily available whenever you need them. So if I'm at the bank on my iPad, okay, whatever you need license, IRS, anything, it's all right here. So, you know, Chase, credit card, I have documents in here, so I took pictures of everything. So I should say, this was like the statement, actually. Yeah, so there's just stuff on here, you know, I'm not going to say this paperwork doesn't make sense. I'm just going to lose it. So this is nice and easy. It's all in here, whatever I need. All that stuff. So yeah, the Chase account, which is the debit card, credit card is there. My insurance is there, how much it is, all the policy and everything. The license is there. There's certificate, they actually email it to you, so you can see this is on here. You can look at my address anyway, I don't really care if you guys are seeing it right now. So that's the registration number and everything. That's all there. Who needs a hard copy of it? Keep it on the computer. There's also the LLC paperwork right here. So there's the business formation letter and everything. Some other stuff, IRS, my trailer documents. This is like, what is this? Yeah, this is for my trailer with the VIN number and everything. Registration, the DMV, all that stuff. So it's all in one organized folder. So whenever I know official document, official to me is something that has to do with the government, something to do with registration or something, that's all in there. Close official docs, next one, there's a few templates. I don't really need those. Steel profile, I can just open that up and show you. This was more for an architecture school project right here. Different profiles for steel beams, which I don't really need right now. So yeah, so that's what those are, but I'm not really using those. Templates, I'll show you that in a second. Molding profiles, this one's pretty important. I keep that in the root folder for the company just because I use those a lot. So that is right here. You can see I have some crown profiles, which I use it if you watch my YouTube videos. Some of the most common profiles over here also, so if I'm trying to do something like this, which I can also do on the iPad, I can even open up these folders on the iPad and rotate in 3D to show the client right there at their house. And we're only at 16 minutes, which is pretty cool right now. Thought it was a lot longer. It feels like it's been an hour. I could extrude those and just, do whatever I need when I'm making the models. And some nice neutral colors, some joinery of some bits that I have. So yeah, that's all in here. Don't need to save that. Wall types, this was more of an architecture school thing too. But if we want to bring this over, we could come over here. And I think I messed some of these up. This is like an older version. But some stuff here. If I need to do 3D details of anything, if I'm trying to show something, explain something to a client, those are in here. But again, these were all school projects that I really don't need in the company folder, but they're just there because it's something that could help. Next one, templates. So this is kind of what you saw before. So this was how you saw how I opened up the I like duplicated the folder to make a separate one for the new client. That's basically what all this is. So we have the invoice here. This is all like the blank thing. These are all templates. So anything that I need to change to, I'll make here, and these are the actual copies. So you can see up here how I changed everything. The website, that's the phone number I was telling you about, and the new email address that I was telling you about also. So that's all changed right there. I changed this a little bit with the Snapchat logo since I don't use House. That I don't like that website too much. Kind of pointless. So yeah, so that one's there. I also have an invoice if I need to print it. I used to keep a few of these actually in my little folder. I had a little like what was it? One of those checkboard things, clipboard. One of those, not a checkerboard. And yeah, I used to write out the invoice if I needed to and just hand it to the client right there. But again, all my clients have phones, and usually they have iPhones, so I could, whether or not they have an iPhone, I could go on my iPad, I could write it all out so they could actually read it because my handwriting is terrible. I could email it to them in a PDF, text it to them, whatever they want, and they have it there for their records for whatever. So that's what I do now. I don't even need this one anymore. Letter, you guys saw that one, lined paper. I used to print those out, but now that I have the iPad, I don't even need those anymore. I used to keep like 10 of these copies and get messy and write stuff down that I couldn't even read. So that's another reason for the iPad. So we have those. That one you saw. This one is just something I haven't really followed through with, but that's when I have like a few jobs going on at once. It gets confusing how much is on my card, how much they owe me, how much in materials is going on, just so I could kind of keep track of everything. So that's a few things right there. I didn't really use that one yet. This is just a blank letterhead if I need to print anything out. That's how that looks. And then weekly goal, I haven't really done anything with that yet. I'm trying to implement that. Company planning, that's something separate too. So I have like research and methods and a few other things. So this, I've been kind of slacking with this lately, but usually on Instagram I see pictures of something that I really like, that, whether it's an idea, a process, a method, whatever it is, and I kind of copy and paste them on here. So right here, upcoming goals, those are a few goals which I could cross out. T-shirts, work phone, flyers, and a few other things, and hopefully soon I'll get a van or something. But yeah, those are goals, so it's just good to have those, know what you want in the future. Research for a few things that I want to look into. Some new methods, which the methods actually come down here. So these are just screenshots of things on Instagram that I see that can make things easier. So right there you can see he's, he put a screw in there with his hammer, and he's trying to move the 2x4 on the left of it right here. A little bit more flush, but you can't really do that by banging it because the wood's warped. So he puts a screw in there, he moves the hammer out, and it gets nice and flush. So that's something I never even thought of. Just someone shared that. That's why I love Instagram. So check that out at Copac Design on Instagram. Follow me, I'll follow you. Especially if you interact. let's see, these are a few other things, just cool things. This was actually, he talked about different joints and how he tapes over the metal bead just to make it better. This is a coffered ceiling detail. Let's see what else I have here. Vacuum against the, the drill press. Routing out some frames right there. This is a cool inlay with miter joints. That's how we did the staircase. I've actually done this on a recent project, thanks to Instagram, thanks to this guy, which is pretty amazing, actually. Some details of just things that I want to try out, some cool things, drying rack that I want to implement. So yeah, take screenshots whenever you could. I'm actually trying to think if I should print out some things on my wall in my shop and everything and just put them on there whenever I could so that they're all there and it's consistent, goals, consistent thinking and everything. And, I think that's one of the best things that's made me who I am today. It works out great. So that's what's there. I have a 2-bio list, which this hasn't been updated in a while, but I kind of did phases. So important, somewhat important, something that I want but I don't really need in the job permitting, so if I'm doing a job, then I'll be able to buy it, put it into the job price. All that's in there. I could cross out a few of these, but those are just a few things I was thinking of, and of course I bought many things that weren't even on here lately. So that's what I keep on there. That's a template folder. I think that's about it, actually. Yeah, so that's everything. Let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, that's really about it. I did a few other things. This was like an interview that I did here too, design work. I'll post this on my website or something, Copac Design, you could see it. So that was something too. So this was more like an official document, so I'll post that in here also. I'll just save anything with the company is right in a folder named Copac Design. So I can see it on my iPad, on my desktop, whatever I need, nice and easily. And that's how I organize everything. So if you have any questions, you want to reach out, go on Instagram, follow me at Copac Design. You could text me directly from there. It'll show my phone number. Shows my email. You could email me. You could direct message me, anything. That's the best way to contact me, though. So make sure to follow me on there. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to see more. Let me know what you want to see, what you don't want to see. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.